This is brutal power wrapped in an elegant machine.
In this video I'm going to show you quickly where you can configure your platform so that you can edit your profile, you can edit your details, how the system is displayed and how the drop downs work. Everything's done up in here in this profile section. So you can see this sub menu here. Edit profile is essentially everything that relates to you, and you can change your avatar if you want to by simply uploading a photo. Organization config relates to the organization, the billing organization for sending out invoices. This part is actually covered in the finance video, so I won't go into that too much. Master config is really where you can start mucking around with the way the menus work. So in here you'll see all these screens. So you've got track work, procedures, horse location and status, barn and box, owner group, vehicle type for transport tasks, general type. This is all your gear. You can delete these. You can add your own ones in. So just select it to add your own. Simply just click that, add it in. That's now in the value list, and you can see that now when you do your track work. That there's a swim there. If you click add new, you can add a new one from here rather than go through the prefig again. And you'll see in here that there's now walk and roll there as well. So it works two ways. So that's track work. Groups is where you have a name for groups. So you might have a walk and roll group, or you might just have group 1, group 2, group 3 in terms of the way the horses come out for track work. That's completely customizable as well. Procedures, the same sort of process. There's a whole list of pre-filled procedures when you first start using Prism, but you might have specific procedures that you want to add in here. And one of the key things that you can do here also is enter the clear days. So you might do add Lasix, add a clear day, 2 days. So what that does is that anytime the system, anytime you create a procedure with that in it, the system will calculate the 2 clear days and give you a warning if there's any issues, which we'll cover in a separate video. So this is all the categories. There's horse location and status. So this is talking about basically adding in all your locations. So simply adding that in, and then status. Here's all your status, which are pre-filled, but if you've got something different that you want to do, you can add it in there. One of the other things that we do is have links, so location and status. So you might say Flemington full training. And that's added in there as well. So what it does is it makes it quicker for you to actually create your movements. So you would say Flemington full training, and then that can also help with when you're creating rules around day rate. The other thing with location and status is actually in barn and box. So if you wanted to create, if you wanted to assign barns and boxes to all your horses, you select the location, enter the barn, and then select, you might have 2. Select the one you want, and then it's simply just adding the boxes. as you listen. So that's Barn and Box. Owner groups. This is around the comms. So when you're sending out broadcast email, we have a section where you can send by owner group, and this is really around if you want to segment your database for people to to receive certain information based on their interests. So you might have a group of owners that are interested in stayers. You create that name stayers there, and then you select the owners that you want to go into that stayers group. So what that means is that when it comes time to send a comms in here, which you'll see in a separate video, and you may have a staying prospect that's come into the stable that you want to sell, you can basically send to the group called stayers, and these 3 people will get the email. Transport type is just around vehicles. So if you're managing your own vehicles and you wanted a 6 berth, you can 6, 8 berth, 9 berth, whatever it is. You can enter those details in here, and when you do your transport task, you'll have the option of choosing that. General type, this relates to general items. So this is for general tasks. You can choose dentist or farrier and whatever you want to add in here. So again, using that same process. And that's kind of it for the configuration of the data there. Some of the other things here, PRA forms will show in a separate. Notifications is really around one, your time zone, so you can change your time zone, and then you can select how you want to receive notifications. So and this is basically if there's a new horse added, you get notified via web, which is that notifications up here. You get push notifications to your mobile, and then an email also updating, and you just basically put these on and off as you see fit. You can turn them all off, you can turn them all on, and so it's really customized to how you want to set the system up. There's a couple of other just little ones in here. Task overdue, so one thing we do have is that we send a reminder to you for any tasks that you've set that are overdue, that haven't been done that day, and you can select the time that you want that to occur. So if you wanted to know at 6 o'clock every day what hadn't been done for the day, you would just add in 6 o'clock there, and that would then tell you via the web up here, via the mobile app, and also via email. Everything else is the same, except also just this one. This is a setting for when you haven't updated a horse for a certain period. So some trainers have a rule where they make sure that every horse has an update every either 7 days, 14 days, whatever the case may be. So if you put in 7 days there, click save, the system will then notify you here when a horse hasn't had an update. So you get to have an update. The other ones here are reminders, which you can see in a different video, and the last one is change the password. So enter your current password, enter the new one, retype in your password. And that's really it for the configuration. There's obviously a bit more that goes into it, but we can certainly help you with that. If you've got any questions or you want to help with the setup, please don't hesitate to get in contact at support@prism.horse.